So I'm going to be reading, and the camera, I think, is going to point at me. So don't worry, nobody's going to enter your intimacy. Okay. For the people that just came in, just take your shoes off, find a spot, and please lie on your back. So recognize something about you. You as a body, your muscles, your bones, your organs, but also you as an emotion. Feel where you are right now with your emotions. Feel your sensations. Can you feel them? You know, sometimes when we lay down like this and we do this work, your mind is going like, what the fuck am I doing here? Shall I be noticing something? I'm not noticing something. It's okay if you don't feel anything. There's nothing wrong about you. Perceive, if you can, your ears, your eyes. Can you perceive your tongue? Feel the temperature. Is it warm? Is it cold? Cold feet? We have a kinesthetic sense that allows us to feel our orientation and gravity, the position of our joints. So feel the pressure of your body against the floor. Recognize differences in contact. Can you feel your skin? Your muscles? Can you differentiate your bones? That's your proprioception. But then there's something more about the interoception. Can you feel the movement of your abdomen? Can you feel your guts? Not just the diaphragm. Do you think you can differentiate with where your diaphragm is? Have you ever felt your diaphragm? And if you don't feel this stuff, it's okay too. We have so many ways of perceiving ourselves, to know how we are in the here and the now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. And please try not to judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. So let's go. Just to make some kind of order on your attention, start by feeling how you're leaning on your legs on the floor. You're probably leaning on the external side of your legs and heels. Maybe not. Are both of your feet organized the same way? Are they open in the same amount in degrees? It could be that they're not so open to the sides. Pay attention that you're not doing any effort either with the muscles around your hip joints, so that you're not refraining or doing any extra effort. Just be as you are. Because in this position, gravity should help you with your feet open up to the sides. But just make sure you don't fight gravity. Now feel the contact that you have with your calves, right and left. Just compare how they are in contact with the floor. Are they different? Usually one print is stronger than the other. Now bring your attention to your pelvis, to the muscles around your pelvis, on your back. Can you feel your buttocks? Usually one is higher than the other, and that provokes the pelvis to be a little bit higher on one side than the other. And please don't change anything, just be a witness of how your distribution naturally is. So what about your chest? At the back, are you pressing with your right and left ribs in the same way? Probably not, since we have a dominant side and one is, asymmetric. We have a dominant shoulder, a dominant arm, dominant eye. So now feel your shoulders. How much of your right shoulder is touching the floor? More surface than in the left shoulder? Do you feel that one of your shoulders is closer to the ear on the same side? Can you feel that? And please don't correct anything. Do you feel that your head is resting on its central part? Or maybe it's turned in one direction towards one of the two sides. Do not change anything. This is actually very important that you don't change stuff throughout the lesson, that you assume and accept what's going on. You will find out later why. Feel the position of your arms on the floor. Are the palms up? Are they down? Everything's fine. There's no right or wrong. Just notice it. And notice the space between your arms and your sides. Is that space yours? Do you feel it? Does it belong to you? Do you feel that the space between your legs belongs to you more? Or the space between your arms and the sides of your body belongs to you more? And maybe you don't perceive this space, not even as your personal space, and it's okay. Are you thinking about your breathing? Or are you just allowing your breath to breathe you? Now bring your attention to the front of your chest. And notice if you're turning your chest a little bit to the right or to the left. Perhaps if you notice that the back ribs on the right side have more pressure, more contact to the ground, you may recognize that the front part of the sternum, which is that bone in the middle of the chest in front of us, maybe will also be directed and pointed to the right. Then look and see if you can feel if there is a side of your chest that presses a little bit more on the ground. And from now on, I'm going to ask you to exaggerate stuff. And what I mean by exaggerating is doing 2% more of whatever you're doing. So I invite you to do a little bit more of whatever you feel you're doing with your chest. In order to exaggerate something, you have to feel what you're doing. Otherwise, you may end up doing something else. So just exaggerate 2-3% of what you feel you're doing. So if you're pressing with the right part of the chest, just press a little bit more towards the floor and stay there for a moment. And leave it alone. And now shift to your shoulders. Press a little bit more on the shoulder that you notice that is pressing more against the floor. Just 2%. And then press a little bit less the shoulder that is not pressing so much against the floor. The idea here is to know what you're doing and do a little bit more of what you're doing by 2-3%. And feel the side effect of this. Are you squeezing your teeth? Because it doesn't help. Okay, go with your attention to the pelvis. One side is a little bit higher towards the ceiling than the other, right? This means that the other side is a little bit lower down the floor. So exaggerate it a little bit.